Hello friends, welcome here. If you're new around here, my name is Zelda and I like to make videos kind of all surrounding like motherhood, homemaking, lifestyle, general type videos. I'm happy to have you with us today. And if you are not new around here, happy to have you back. So today's video, as you can tell, is all about baby names. These are such fun videos to watch, I think. It's so interesting to see people's naming styles and what names they get drawn to, and then like also a bit of reasoning as well. So I thought I might as well do my own because I am now 35 weeks pregnant, and so our little one is coming very soon. So obviously baby names are getting bigger and bigger. We still are actually undecided between two names. Obviously, which I'm not going to share today, but you will find out in a few weeks. 5 weeks, hopefully. So I got my list on my phone here. So, a little recap. I already have one baby. He is 18 months old, and his name is Thomas Elliott. He was born in October 2021. And this little one that I'm having right now, he is a boy. So I'll probably share a few girl names, not our like top favorite girl names, just in case, or you know, for the future, but I'll share a lot of girl names that we do like and that maybe we'll use in the future, you know, maybe not. If I ever get a girl, I gotta say the odds are not in my favor. There's a lot of boys in our families, so the odds aren't great, but it will be lovely to have a little girl one day. Before I get into the names, I want to talk a little bit about our criteria that we have for our baby names. So there's a few things that we both agree we want in our baby's names that we think are important. So first of all, it needs to be more or less easy to spell. We don't want any like weird H's, K's, Y's like thrown into the name. Like if it's a name, we want it to be spelled like its classic way of spelling it. So obviously Thomas, like it would be easier without the H, but classically it's spelled Thomas, and so that's what he was named. This can be a little trickier for names like Catherine, where there's like 1,000,001 different ways to spell Catherine, and so we generally stay away from those kind of names anyway. That just helps. And then of course some names are just harder to spell, and that's just the way it is, and so that's just the way it is. But we try to stick to a traditional spelling of the name. Another criteria is that we try to make it like we try to think through how easy it would be to make fun of the name. You know, I feel like every parent tries this, but especially as our surname is Reed, and so that can make it easy, like thinking about the first name, how you compare that together with different things, and just making sure that it's nothing super obvious that's gonna make a painful childhood. That being said, it is character building, so at the end of the day, you know, your name is a name, and you only get bullied for it for the first 10 years of your life, and then you get over it. But so we try to be mindful of that anyway. And then we also want it to be a strong, for our boys, we want them to have strong masculine names. So we don't like, this is mainly because it's funny, my husband's name is Brooke, and he has never liked it. Not because Brooke isn't a lovely name, which it is a really nice name, but because he's only ever met girls named Brooke. He's never met a guy named Brooke, and it's quite a common girl name. I don't know about America, but here in New Zealand it's very common to be a girl's name. And so from that, he like wants his sons to have really manly names. And I'm like, sure, that's fine. I have nothing against a masculine name, so that's good. And so those are kind of like our our give or take rules. And then we also have preferences of like, we kind of, you'll see we're drawn to more classical names. A lot of the names that I like are also like monarch kind of names. I like the traditional like English names, I think are really nice. So a lot of those you'll see in here as well. Anyway, that whole spiel done, we can get onto the names. So the girl names that we like, but we have not had an opportunity to use yet. We like names like Charlotte, Annabelle. Okay, I feel like I need to justify these names. Names that I don't think I need to justify, that are just nice names that we like: Charlotte, Beatrice, Isabella, Amelia, Eleanor, Delilah. Actually, okay, I need to justify Delilah a little bit. Delilah, I think, is a beautiful name, and it means delicate, which I think is really sweet. But it is just the awkwardness of her being like a villain in the Bible. Like, not a villain, but she's not someone you want to emulate from the Bible. And so that kind of makes it awkward for that name, because she's kind of like a seductress. Not a great character, so. And then other names that we like that I kind of want to explain a bit. We like the name Juliet. This is tricky for a couple ways. First way is that it's always going to be tricky spelling, because some of them have like the TTE, some of them just have one T, you know, like that kind of thing is always a bit confusing. But that's nothing that's going to stop me naming my child Juliet. But this name also came about because my husband really loves the name Julia, and I do not. I think something about it. I don't like it. I think I must have known a Julia at one point in my life that I didn't like. Like, I can't even think of a person named Julia, but I just, but I like Juliet. I think that's a much more beautiful, pretty name version of Julia. So that's why Juliet's on our list. I like the name Annabelle. It's just unfortunate its connotations are with a horror movie. And I don't think we're actually going to name a child Annabelle, but I do think it's a nice name. And if I meet a little Annabelle, I would be very pleased. I'd be like, yes, what a nice name for a baby. A couple funny names we like. We like Theodosia. It's a feminine form of Theodore. And so Theodore means God-given, Theodoros. And so Theodosia is cute in that way, a gift from God. And also, it's just a nice name, and it's a very funny name, very vintage. But like I also quite like girls that have boy nicknames, which is funny because we want our boys to have boy names, and like the girls, we want to have girl names as well. But also, like, I love a good boy nickname, like a little girl whose nickname is like George or Charlie or something. So calling little girl Theo, cute. Anyway. I also like Octavia. Octavia is a really nice name. I actually knew a girl in one of my classes whose name was Octavia, which I thought was so pretty. But it's just, yeah, I don't know. Octavia just means eighth. Like, that's just what it means. And so I'm like, either we have to have 8 kids, and then if the 8th kid happens to be a girl, we'll name her Octavia. Or it's like we have to just disregard what it means. And then, which is like not the end of the world, but you know. Other names, there's this name, okay. There's this name, it's on my list, and it will forever be on my list, and it will forever, never ever be a child of mine, because my husband absolutely vetoes it, and I understand, you know. Clementine. I think Clementine is such a cute little name. Little baby Clem, little sweet little orange. I love the name Clementine, but I understand it's ugly. It's ugly. Like, there's just no way around it. Clementine is pretty, I think. I think it's a pretty name. Clem, not cute. There's no shortening of that is cute. And it's just a bit weird. And I understand that, and I do, but I still love it. So if you were looking for a baby name and you want to name your child Clementine, do it. I think we need more Clementines. I actually have seen quite a few babies whose middle name is Clementine. I still don't think I convinced my husband. I don't think that'll ever happen. I saw a baby the other day named Ivy Clementine. I think that's really pretty. So there's a little combo for you if you're thinking about that. But yeah, those are a lot of our girl names that we really like, that I'm a big fan of. So go for gold with those, because I don't think I'm gonna have much of a chance to use them at the rate we're going with these boys, but that's okay. This is much more exciting because these are like I'm getting boys. So obviously I have a Thomas Elliot, and we are so proud of his name. Whenever anyone asks like, oh, what's Thomas's middle name? I'm like, oh, he's Thomas Elliot. Everyone's like, what a nice name. And I'm like, yeah, it sounds great. And then they're like, is it a family name? And I'm like, nope, it just sounded like a good combo. We wanted to give it to him. So there you go. It has nice meanings. Thomas kind of means twin, but it could also mean leader. And Elliot means the Lord is my God, which I think is really cool. The trouble there was with the spelling of Elliot. It was like tricky. 1 L, 2 L's, 1 T, 2 T's. There's no real right or wrong way. We decided what's really embarrassing is I actually often forget what we decided to spell his name like, but excuse me, it's Elliot with 2 L's and 1 T. But I do have to think about it. I can't just reel it off the top of my head. I have to think about how we spell it. Because it's just like there's no wrong way. Like you have to just choose a way, and then that's what it is. Like you just have to choose one of the ways. Anyway, so that's Thomas Elliot. Great name. Very proud of that. Other names we like. I like Theodore. I just don't love how it's super popular. We like our names. I don't like, you know, it's nothing wrong with a popular name. And, but I just, you know, there's like 1,000,001 baby Theodores around at the moment. So we'll just leave that for now. We also I like the name Alexander. A lot of our boy names are kind of more on the historical side, you'll find. We're into history, me and my husband, especially my husband. He's a major history buff, which is funny because I'm the one who did the degree in ancient history, but he's the one who knows so much more about it than I do. Anyway, we like Alexander. It's a great name. My only qualm with Alexander is that I do not like the name Alex. Like, I mean, not that I'm like, I don't like it. I can't even justify it. Don't like it. Don't want my kid to be called Alex. And I know if you name them Alexander, they're gonna be called Alex. It's inevitable. And so, compromise is that we think it might be a middle name one day. Could be good. Could be a good middle name because it's still a really nice name. Other names we like. We like the name August in some form. Could be August, could be Augustus, could be Augustine. I kind of like Augustine the best because he's a great, you know, he's a great historical figure, great church father. It is definitely a bit more on the unique side, Augustine, but how cute is the nickname like Augie? Little baby Augie? Isn't that so cute? Yeah, Augustine was or Augustus, or August was a top contender for this baby, but we didn't end up going with that one, but it's a good name. Might be if I have another boy, we might look at August again. Other names we really like, James, just a solid name, like James. It's a good masculine name, you know how to spell it, it's a great biblical name, it's great. A name that we kind of suggested as a joke, and then I was like, you know what, it's not even the worst name. Lysander? I know, you're probably cringing, but I don't know, I don't hate it. I don't hate it as much as I should. So Lysander is on the list. Micah. Micah is a cute name. It's biblical, but it's not super obvious. Josiah. Henry. These are all great names. Edward. Like, that's kind of a lot more like Henry, Edward. More like royal names. Charles. I like Charles. Just kind of classic names. I really like them. So with my pregnancy so far, we have had huge debates on names up until like 20 weeks, and then I find out we're having a boy, and then we're like, okay, cool, this name. Boom. Done. We like it. You know? So that's just what it is. So while we have fewer boy names, we agree on like every boy name that I like, Brooke seems to like. Every boy name he likes, I seem to like. You know? We just have a very similar taste. Girl names are a bit trickier. We haven't had a girl yet that we know of, unless we're having a little surprise in my tummy now. So that'll be interesting conversations when we get there. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed watching. I hope that you got some inspiration for names that you like. Let me know in the comments if you think of any other names that are similar to these names you think I might like. I love that. There's this like Reddit community called Name Nerds, and I just spend hours scrolling Name Nerds. It is so interesting. People have such great ideas. It's so fun. You can post like lists of names that you like, and then people will comment like other names that like suit the vibe of that list, which is really fun. And they post really interesting, like they'll post like a yearbook from like 1930 and like this elementary school in this state, and then it's like all the interesting names there. Yeah. So that's fun. So I would consider myself a name nerd, even though my taste in names is fairly standard, fairly boring. It's still fun. It's fun to think about. And it's fun to watch videos of people talking about names that they like. So I hope that you enjoyed. I hope you got some inspiration. And yeah, let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions for a baby name for this little baby that you want to add to my list. Or if you have a favorite name that you think we should name the baby that I mentioned. Because obviously none of the names I mentioned are serious considerations for this baby. But you know, if it's one that you think I should reconsider, let me know. We've still got 5 weeks to decide, so yeah. Thank you for watching. If you'd be interested in more videos like this, or more videos like homemaking, cleaning, sourdough baking, I have those on my channel, so you can feel free to go check those out. I do a lot of like vlogs, like my daily routine with my baby and that kind of thing, so feel free to check those out if that interests you. And otherwise, have a really good week.